Hold on, let me just get this situated here so I can see messages if anybody comes in. I know it's been a minute. Okay. Okay. So, I have been trying to figure out a live schedule so that we can cook together, and I think I figured it out. I think it's going to be Wednesdays and Fridays. So if that works for you. Hello, Wayuma. Hi, welcome in. It's been a minute. How are you? Wayuma, I have been trying to figure out schedule because, of school and soccer. Corky, hello. Welcome in. Hi. Alhamdulillah, Wayuma. I'm glad to hear that. You guys, I'm trying to figure out the schedule for lives. I just got done recording something for y'all, some scalloped potatoes. I did want to make them loaded, so I can let y'all know how to do that. But obviously you guys know, like, I don't eat bacon or anything like that. Oh my gosh, Corky, that's very kind. Thank you. So I've recorded that for you guys. I think that soups are going to have to come in a little bit earlier than we initially thought, because it is starting, the temps are starting to drop. So I do have a mushroom soup in mind. Ginger, hello. Hi. Welcome in. Ginger, so one of my sweetest subscribers, Vicky, I love her so much. She wants to do an Arabian feast, a Middle Eastern feast. Okay, so we are going to be doing that. Yesterday or the day before, I made a roast and it was lamb, but I want to do kofta and rice. I've missed you guys so much. Hello, Libby. Hi. Hello. So we are going to start doing lives. I just needed to figure out the soccer schedule and the school schedule. Kimmy, hello. Hi. Oh my goodness. I miss you guys so much. I miss you guys. Yes, Ginger. So we have to do the whole shebang because Vicky wants some Arabic food. So we're going to have to do the rice. We're going to do the kofta kebab with lamb, and we're going to do chicken and hummus. We're gonna do the whole thing. Hello, Andrea. Hi. Welcome in. And then, you guys, we are definitely going to do some Halloween stuff. I think the vibe is going to be okay. So, if you guys have seen my shorts, hello. What does this say? White arrow. Hi. Welcome in. So we're going to do that feast, and like I said, I filmed some scalloped potatoes for you guys tonight. I do too, Corky. And you over there in Canada, I bet you get some good Arabic food. And so for the Halloween vibes, I don't know if you guys have seen my shorts. Like, I did some like bringing back, like resurrecting. I do too, Ginger. Like resurrecting some discontinued recipes. And I brought out one of my old Halloween looks, and it was the zombie housewife. Welcome in from India. And so it was the zombie housewife. So I think I'm bringing her back. Y'all kind of, I know it looks like it's animated or whatever, but I made that from the actual makeup that I did for that look. So I think I'm doing that again. So it's going to be like zombie-ish inspired, still housewife-ish, still, pin-up-y, like 40s, 50s vibes. So that's the plan. We are, again, going to do a menu like we did last year. Inshallah, that's the plan. So we'll do like the table setting and do all of that. Thank you, Corky. So we'll do the table setting like we did last year. We'll do the snacky snacks and all of that. So I am going to, like, the plan is to do the vintage pumpkins Edna, hello. It's good to see you. Oh my God. Princess Brioche, hello. It's good to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Wayuma. Thank you for reminding people of that. I appreciate it. So we are going to do like more so vintage decor, right? I'm not really into like the like super like gory looking stuff. So I want it to just be something cute, right? I'm in the United States, Arrow. But if anybody has any suggestions, you guys just let me know. Because I do want to make like a retro menu. That's the plan. Thank you, Brioche. I appreciate you. You know, like I was named after a person that was born in that timeline, like my actual name. Um, but yeah, so that's what I want to do. I kind of want to maybe make like a diabolical like jello salad, but at the same time I'm like I don't want to waste food, you know? So maybe we'll do like a jello dessert instead because God forbid like I am not putting weird stuff in my jello. So that's the plan. So, but as far as I know right now, I think Wednesdays are going to be lives. Yes, Wayuma, I think we'll have to do that, like something delicious. You guys, did you know when you're making jello, if you mix kiwi into your gelatin, it won't set. Did you know that? Because kiwi would look so pretty, right? But it won't set. I do also, okay, I definitely want to make a cake. Like, yeah, well, it won't set. It has like some kind of an acid that doesn't allow it to set. But so for cold season, right? So like we dropped like a lot of degrees the other day and it got significantly colder. So I do have mushroom. I think I'll do mushroom and barley because Lilith mentioned barley, but I want to do a mushroom and barley soup. I am going to be usually Princess for Halloween. Like my mom will come over, my nieces and nephews, my niece and my nephews, and they'll go trick or treat in our neighborhood. I've done like a not a Cinco de Mayo, Dia de los Muertos one where it's like, you know, I was like very respectful of like the actual tradition of it. Like I made tamales and everything. And then last year it was the Gotham inspired. And this year I want it to be like the retro one. So people like my family comes over and they eat here and we hang out. So that's what we're gonna be doing. So hoping like for the lives that we'll just you guys will like hang out with me while we make some of the decor. Yeah. But so I want to come up with the menu for that. So that's something we can do together and some of the decor and then like cake stuff. But some of that stuff from that era was like meh. Fresh kiwi ruins jello because it contains a natural enzyme. Oh, why won't it let me see? Oh my gosh. What happened? Did it freeze? Are you guys frozen? Okay, wait, let me see. I'm good. Oh, okay, now it's letting me. Natural enzyme called actinidin, which breaks down the protein strands in gelatin and stops it from solidifying. Thank you, Edna. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so that's what we have going on. You guys, I know that a lot of y'all don't watch true crime stuff and cases and stuff, but has anybody been following the Clancy case? Oh, okay, Princess, that makes sense. Have y'all been following the trial? With Lindsay Clancy, not a true crime girly? Okay. And just to clarify, because this is like one of my biggest pet peeves. I am not a fan of true crime. I don't find it entertaining. I look at it as far as like psych is concerned, and I, like, as you guys know, I help search for missing persons. Definitely not I don't find it a form of entertainment. I don't like clothing that says, like, you know, true crime and chill or whatever. Like, that's not my thing. I can't follow it. It's really infuriating. Yeah. I have like so many. I think now that we're, you know, they're doing the cross and everything, when you hear about, and I don't know what anybody's views are on this, I know what my views are, but when you hear about the failures that happened in that situation, it is devastating. Like, I think that this could have been prevented. I genuinely do. It has been very painful to watch, and I tried to avoid it. No, crime is serious. Yeah. Andrea, yeah, for sure. So I don't find it entertaining at all. Sorry, guys. I have like the air fryer still on. So let me just, not the air fryer. The yeah. The deep fryer. Yeah, it's pretty devastating, but I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys, it dropped? Can you hear me? How do you guys think she's going to be found? Why does it keep doing that? That is so weird. Oh, okay. Thank you, Kimmy. Oh, I think most of the people who think true crime is cool have never experienced losing someone. Yeah, Princess, same. And like, whenever, you know, when I watch these cases and things like that, I don't think like I'm watching a TV show. Like, these people have gone through hell and back, you know? Okay, thank you so much. I'm sorry, guys. The internet and our service has been really, really bad lately. So, Juba found guilty, innocent lady will die in jail. I think that Remington, who is, wow, incredible, okay, like, so impressed by him. I think that he's made a pretty good case for how much she has tried to get help. Does he have a father, husband? Edna, I want to know that too, because that is negligent in every possible way. Like, for someone to tell you, I'm having these thoughts about doing X, Y, and Z, I don't want to say anything on here, y'all know, with the kids, and he just leaves her. Ma'am, you left her with the kids knowing. And also, okay, this was talked about a lot today during the trial, and when he came out, when Patrick came out and he found her outside, and he said, "What did you do?" Excuse me? Of course, of course, of course. Of course, Wayuma, I do understand. 110%. And Wayuma, I completely understand if you don't want to hear this. It's a topic of interest for me, especially the psych portion of it and medical care when it comes to psych patients. That's why I was kind of wondering what people are thinking of it. So my apologies. But yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping that all of that will be looked at. Just because is it not normal for women to get overwhelmed? Oh, okay, of course, Wayuma. Thank you. Thank you. Isn't it normal? Because there were, you know, several arguments that were being made, like that she was overwhelmed by having to take care of 3 children and yada yada, and like they're trying to make that as a reason. It's like, yeah, it is normal to be overwhelmed. Is it normal for a dude to dip out and go golfing and go skiing while she's in a mental institution? Is that normal? Also, is it normal for him to have gone up to her? He went to her and he said, "What did you do?" Not what happened. To me, like, that's so odd, because it's like, if you're asking her, "What did you do?" then you're well aware, it's still in the front of your head, that she would have been completely capable of doing something to either harm herself or the children. From the morgue that talks about. Oh yeah, Chris, I've seen the mortician lady on YouTube, where she talks about the like what they do afterwards or whatever. And I've also seen body of evidence. Implies something. Yeah, Princess, that's what I'm feeling, because I don't know, when you see a loved one on the ground, you say, "Oh my God, what happened?" You don't say, "What did you do?" You know what I'm saying? Am I off? Am I weird for thinking that? And then also, you guys, this part, trigger warning. I'm sorry, I'm not going to go into detail, okay? I swear to you, I'm not going to go into detail. But everybody confessed that she was very, like, addicted to her children, okay? Very much into her children. Loved her children very much. I don't understand the crime scene. Addicted, hello. Hi. Welcome in. I've not seen you in a minute. It's like when they show interrogation room footage and parents ask interrogation room and parents, yeah, what did you do? Yeah, and that's after they're just like, after they've got a pretty good idea of what happened. Oh, I need to look up Lindsay Clancy, and no, praise comes from someone. Yeah, it's very odd to me. And then, oh yeah, so the crime scene makes absolutely no sense to me. We have to note that Patrick was in the basement prior to leaving. Claims that she texted him and was like, "Hey, go pick up some food." Hello, Scorpio. Hello, Brad. Prior to this happening or whatever, she texted him and told him to go pick up food. And then, so he was the one in the basement. So you mean to tell me that she went downstairs, did what she did in the basement in separate areas? If you look at other cases where something similar has happened, that's not what the crime scene looked like. That is not what the crime scene looked like. The fact that they were in separate areas and the way that they were left in those separate areas, and even the manner of the way that it was done, just to me, just doesn't make sense. And then to go all the way upstairs and do what she did to herself, it doesn't compute to me. But let's say that all of that is true and valid and whatever. Still, how can you say that she did not try to seek help? Yeah, Andrea, and like the fact that like he married like her freaking twin, 3 months later he moved in with this woman. Are you joking? Like, how do you even have like the desire to be with another person like in such a short time? Yeah, they are, Princess. They most definitely are. Chris, you have so much to look through, girl. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, Edna. Let me clarify. The woman is identical. And so Lindsay, so okay, I'll tell you how crazy it is. So Lindsay was a nurse in the maternity ward, right? She delivered babies. So, and she was also a marathon runner. And then the woman that he got together with, within 3 months' time, he moved to New York to be with this woman. She looks identical to her. She is a fertility doctor, and she too runs marathons. Ma'am? Really? But 3 months, your children are gone. Your wife tried to off herself. 3 months. His mom was also, a delivery nurse. It is, and that I can't get past, you know? So, and he was, sorry, my hand just like did something. He was constantly going to New York for visits. Oh, man. You know, Andrea, like, even saying that is so hard because, like, people have gotten so much backlash for thinking that. But it's like, I don't blame them. I do not blame them for thinking that. It's very sad. Truly. Because, okay, so they tried to show like some surveillance from an art, was it like a science museum or something? So this woman was trying so hard to still function, you know? So she checked out early from a mental place, mental, like a day program or whatever. She checked out early because she wanted to make it to her daughter's birthday party. So she did that. And then on the day of, things were happening, she was building snowmen outside with the kids. Before that, like she was trying to go with them to a bunch of different places and trying to put a smile on her face and trying to act normal. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I don't want to like the one thing that I will blame him for, okay, like, so I won't blame him for the things that she's admit to. Let's say that, he didn't do anything of that nature, but I don't think that he was a supportive husband. Like, I'll say that. I think that he is guilty in that he was not a supportive enough husband when she was struggling. And I think he was also guilty in not doing more to protect his children against his wife, who was saying, I am really struggling and getting these thoughts. That's my opinion. So they showed the surveillance of her in the in the museum or whatever, and he's like standing off to the side, just staring off into God knows what. And she has the baby strapped to her chest. She's got the other one running around, and she's also pushing the stroller while like waiting to like get tickets or something. And dude is just standing there doing nothing. For anybody like who has children or who has been out with children or nieces and nephews or just, babysitting, the struggle, like you're literally standing there sweating, trying to, it's like herding cats, like with children. It's literally like herding cats. And so she's like doing all of this. She's not sleeping. She is anxious. She's anxious about even going back to work because the baby's not taking the bottle. And then they're also not taking into consideration of like the psychological impact that when you stop breastfeeding, there is a massive psychological impact, like hormonal. That like they're not even thinking about that. And they're also saying that she was wrong for not wanting to take medication when this woman was literally trying not to contaminate the breast milk with psych medication. I know, Kimmy, and imagine not being supported, and while you're sitting there struggling with your children and you're trying so hard. You're trying so hard to be present. And I mean, we've all known someone who's had postpartum. Took us to the grocery store. Yeah, Chris, it is very difficult. Especially if the kids are excited and stuff. It's like, of course, we love to see it, but it's very hard, especially like temperament and everything. Children have different temperament. And then if you didn't sleep all night, if you're exhausted, if you've got like a lot of mental fog from medication, it's hard. Hello, BG Hive. Welcome in. I'm sorry if you guys heard that. That was my app. Yeah, it's been very, very difficult to watch the trial and hear the prosecution try to minimize the struggle. That was very, very painful. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed what I eat first every day, but it wasn't a thing back then. I had an amazing husband. I am so glad to hear that, Andrea. I understand wanting to breastfeed, but if help, sometimes things need to be changed. Yeah, of course. I understand it. And then that's why Kimmy, exactly. That's why she ended up, she stopped breastfeeding and she started taking the medication. And she was also dragged through the mud for not wanting to take a specific medication because she was horrified of the side effects that come with said medication. And the side effects were things like there's a horrible scarring rash that some people can get. You know, it was very, very bad. And so she's just like, I can't take this medication. We need to try something else. And sometimes that rash is fatal. Yeah. So she's being, they're like, oh, she was non-compliant and whatever. It's like, how was she non-compliant when she literally had 14 appointments with a therapist? Oh, and then on top of it, one of the psychiatrists that she was seeing, who was also doing therapy for her, had been out of the residency program for about a 2-month period. Yeah, Andrea, I agree. Like, I know that there is an antipsychotic medication that makes people gain an insane amount of weight. People have gotten to over 400 pounds. Let me see which one. Oh, this is very slowly until we knew it was okay. It changed my life. I'm so glad that it worked for you, Kimmy. And that's what they said. They said that it is a wonderful medication. But I think also the fact that she was a nurse, she was really scared. There were things that she looked into very, very deeply. She wasn't a real woman because, oh my God, Chris. I think it was Lamictal. Andrea, I think that's the one that was mentioned. And you know what? My own personal experience with the breastfeeding situation was it was very stressful, especially like while you're at the hospital. That was very, very stressful because, you just had the baby or whatever. And with my first one, it was very difficult. But they'll come in there and be like, so are you breastfeeding? Did you start? Did you pump? Are you going to pump? And you're like, I can barely like sit up straight, and there's this extreme push to do it, which I have nothing against breastfeeding, hello. But I think that there's a way to talk to, the moms and ways to train how to do it and things of that nature. That was very, very difficult. And I think that there are a lot of women who feel a lot of guilt when they have to stop breastfeeding. That's also another part of it. I remember because mine tapped out after 3 months and I felt really bad because I'm like, okay, like I could be giving my baby like so many more antibodies and this is healthier and blah, blah, blah. And there was just nothing. There was nothing I could do. Yeah, Princess. And that's the thing. Like I said, like I am 110%, for breastfeeding. But so I think that that's why there's some guilt that comes with when you are unable to, when it taps out. Is the weight gain? I think so. I think that's another one, right, Kimmy? So yeah, the one for schizophrenia, and I read about this too. I saw some people said that it was such an amazing antipsychotic medication that like helped with like, the auditory hallucinations and things like that, that people were willing to just accept that weight gain because they were able to kind of get some peace. Yeah, Andrea, oh my goodness. That happened to a friend of mine. When his wife was in the hospital, he was like really struggling. He's like, for some reason, like nothing is happening with the breast milk and the baby's screaming and she hasn't had a bowel movement. I was like, did you talk to like one of the nurses? I said, just tell them to give you a bottle of formula at least, just for now, because they'll give you like those tiny little ones. And he's just like, yeah, but they're saying like we should keep trying and we should waiting. I was like, well, the baby's like needs to eat something. Did you? God, I hate that. I hate that. With the weight gain with these antipsychotic medications. Ugh, Andrea, that's so difficult. But yeah, so I think that because there's like this insane pressure, like when you're at the hospital about the breastfeeding, when you can't, you feel like you're doing something wrong. Like you feel bad, you feel horrible. And it's like, of course, like a lot of us, not only do we want to breastfeed because it's good for the baby, but it helps us drop some of, the baby weight. It helps with the bloating afterwards. It helps with so many things, and it helps you bond with the baby. It's so nice to hear, like, when medications actually like work, right? Oh my goodness, the colic. So imagine that. Imagine being exhausted, imagine being stressed out, and then having to deal with the colic, and you're scared and you're terrified. And, most mothers know what that's like. And it's like, and if you don't have children, you've seen somebody struggle. You know what? One of my things, right? So I have two babies, they're 4 years apart. Um, One time I went to the store and I was very tired. That I don't remember what was going on, but I was very tired, and it was just me and baby. And it was at King Supers, and my son, he was 2 at the time. He was screaming at the top of his lungs. Yeah, why you might it is very painful, you know, but it's like we like just bite the bullet and try to get through it. Thank God for some pumps; those can be painful too, but we try. So I was at the store and my son was screaming at the top of his lungs, and like nothing that I said to him, nothing that I tried to do would calm him down. And I'm just like standing there, and I remember just like kind of like stopping in an aisle and just being like, okay, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe, because I started to feel agitated. And I was like, I don't know what's wrong with him, because he wasn't in pain, he was just screaming. And so I grabbed this stuff as fast as I could, and I was heading over to the self checkout because nobody else was open. And I could feel my heart just like pounding in my chest, and like I could feel my skin tingling. And this woman comes up to me, the checkout lady, and she just kind of looks at me, and you can tell, like, how people are like, I'm not going to get involved with you and your child. And she just like looks at me, and I just like looked at her, and she could tell I was like about to just collapse. And she was just like, she looks at him and she goes, "Are you misbehaving?" And I was just like, and he just stopped in that instant. And she goes, and she looks at me, she goes, I raised, what did she say? 3 children under 6 by myself, when I was 30. She's like, and I was just like, she's like, can I help? And I was like, please, please. And I just like walked around the cart, and I just started checking out my stuff, and she's standing there talking to him, and she was just like, you need to be quiet. You need to behave for mommy. Mommy has asked you multiple times to behave, and you're misbehaving. And she's like, are we going to stop? And he said, and he just looked at her and he goes, hold on one second, you guys, sorry. And I was just like, oh my God. I was, and he stopped. And, and it was like the screaming and the screeching that was in my ears just stopped. And so she just kind of occupied him while I checked out. And I just felt relief, and I felt peace, and I felt so lucky in that moment that this woman who knows so much more than I do, who has experienced life, who knows what she's doing. Like, you think I'm going to be offended by a lady who has raised babies, who is around my mother's age, telling me I'm going to interfere and help you? I was almost in tears. Like, I gave her a hug. I said, thank you so much. You have no idea how much you just helped me, you know? Oh, let me see. Sometimes dumped groceries to take baby out. Andrea, I've left a cart. I have left a cart. Exactly. It really was, Ginger. It meant everything. It meant everything. What was? Well, maybe using shook isn't. Maybe I missed it. Shook into. Yeah. You know what? Brioche, I'm not offended. No, because she was very serious. Thank you. That's all I had to say. Like, I am not going, like, my child is screaming. This woman with wisdom who's raised children comes by and is like, let me help you, when she can tell I am about to keel over. Yeah, thank you for your help. And the way that she talked to him. And that was it. Thank God. Thank you. Let me see. See, she's being an angel, and I'm over here teaching my niece to bark. My God, Chris. Why the other moms said her boobs were sore, but I never lactated my second baby. I bet he's like, yeah. And Andrea, see, like, we sit there and we ruminate on this stuff, and when we're trying to sleep and we feel like we're not doing enough, it's like there was so much said during this trial that we understand so much of. And I'm like, it's like, I get it. I understand your pain. I felt that, you know. And so whenever you hear the prosecution trying to minimize it, you're like, you have no idea the hell this woman was going through. How was the car? It was fine, Kimmy. I swear to you, like Brioche said, he was shook into behaving. And he's such a good baby, too. I have no idea what got into him. Who knows? Sometimes even just stress, you know, will stop the production of the milk. Yeah, the village. So much gratitude. You barked at him? Oh my God, Chris. I'd have been like, you better take a step back. I have said that before. But yeah, so I've just, you know, I've had that plan in the background while I'm trying to get some stuff organized and stuff. And I don't know, it's just sad. And then this whole like, oh yeah, postpartum psychosis is not in the DSM and yada yada. It's just like, I don't know. Even though like she fit the criteria for psychosis, it was very hard to hear. Then suddenly want to go. Let's see. Oh my God, Andrea, that pisses me off every time. I'm like, every time we go somewhere, you need to find a bathroom. I'm like, you just conditioned yourself to do that. You know, hello, Calvin. Hi. My son actually went to my oldest. He went to spend the night at my mom's house, and he came back 2 days later, potty trained. I'm like, how? How did you do that? Sometimes it's just the kids being tired without even realizing it. They don't know. And you know what, Chris? And that's why I try to be very mindful of that. Like, you know, I didn't yell at him. I didn't do anything like that. I was just like, what is happening right now that you are behaving like this and screaming? Thank you, Kimmy. She's wrote nonsense about how she wants to raise her kids. She likes so much self-awareness if she thinks she can do all that. Plus big. Wayuma, I could never imagine a situation like that. I think she had mentioned something about them being homeschooled. I don't remember what else she said. She thinks that they're not going to be on devices when the entire world functions on devices. Are you joking? Yeah. Edna, God forbid, girl. Manage. Yeah, Princess, it's very difficult. It's been very difficult. Aw, Brad. Advice on our kids won't be. Chris, I don't think that she would even give them the time of day. But to sit here and pretend like, oh yeah, my kids are not going to be on devices. Well, good luck when they go to school. Literally, like everything that they're doing is on devices. Like, you want to be behind the times? Go ahead. We go. Yeah, it's very difficult. Andrea, that is horrifying to think about, honestly. Edna. Well, Edna, like, she did mention, like, taking a pregnancy test and stuff, but because she went from, in the beginning, when we heard about this, she had said she never wants to have children, and then met Remy, and all of a sudden now she's changing her mind. Needs a tablet next year for. Wait, what did you say? What Chronicle? Also, the way Rosie talked about. Yeah, very much so, Wayuma. No, don't come back and start some shit. How was she addicted to devices in her kids? Let's see, Andrew until the neuroscientist. I'm sorry, I'm just catching up. Oh, not in the US. What's not in the US? I feel like I'm missing something. And my niece needs a tablet for next year. Really? Yep. These facts. It varies by state, but no, it's not a requirement. Childless people say, no, girl, Andrea, that pisses me off like crazy. I think she likes playing house with Remy. She doesn't know. Yeah, and Remy, don't even get me started. He doesn't know a damn thing about anything. Hello, Stephanie. Hi. Oh my goodness. Stephanie, thank you. Oh my God. Hi, Mels. Hello. Hi, my sweet, beautiful Mels. Parents needing credentials at home to school. Oh, yeah. They don't need anything. They sure don't. You can, like, call them right now and they'll send you the entire package to your house. Getting coffee. Yum. Food and fashion channel with. Aw, thank you, Brad. Thank you. Yeah, oh no, Princess. They usually, with the tablets, they'll leave them at school, they'll use them there. Or like with my niece, they get to take the laptop home, like you check it out. Oh. I don't think so. Wish they can take it home. City Mouse. But yeah, so her saying that, like, she wants them to stay off. What did she say? She's going to introduce more books and stuff like that. Instead, she's going to do what her sister does and things like that. Like, they've been reading the same book for, what, 7 months? It's still not done. What was the second thing? I don't remember what else she said about children. Are they going to be allowed to socialize? Because that's another part of it. I don't think public schools make you pay. Yeah, you're assigned. We have to pay like so many fees already, you know, when you start school, and it all goes towards all of that. But for the elementary school, they keep them there. For the other schools, they don't. Heard a story of a school illegally tracking. Get out, Edna. Are you joking? Because I know that they have a tracker, like, you know, Find My Device on the tablet. So they're tracking all of them then, the ones that can take them. Yeah, if you're homeschooling, you have to be proactive in finding ways for your kids to shelter. Yeah, exactly, Wayuma. You know what? Because I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I gave that a quick hot thought because I was very scared of, you know, some of the things happening out in schools. Okay, that was very scary. And I was like, maybe I'll have to homeschool my children. And my mom was like, no, you're not. Your children need to be socialized. They need to go out there. They need to go have fun. She was like, you know, you can't be controlling everything because, like, hello, like, we grew up in war zone. And my mom was like, how do you think I got through it? I got through it. You have to get through it too. I was like, excuse me? She's like, it was scary for me to let you guys leave the house or for us to get on a bus or for you guys to do anything because it was just like bang, bang, bang constantly. She's like, but we did it. And you have to do it too. You have cameras in your litter box? What? Let me know if they need assistance for my niece. It's just crazy how much they use electronics. Yeah, I think, what was it? I think Switzerland is bringing back pen and paper in their schools. Because, yeah, children are having a lot more difficulty writing. 2 cameras, that's wild. Interesting. That's hilarious. Okay, Chris, thank you for popping in. Continue. Yeah, very true, brioche. So once my, I think my little monsters are here from soccer. I think they got rained out, unfortunately. I'm actually going to head out here too. I'm going to post the scalloped potatoes for y'all. 7th grade algebra teacher. Oh, 7th grade algebra. Oh, okay. For some reason I read that wrong. I'll post the scalloped potatoes for you guys. And then, like I said, I think I did figure out our live schedule situation, and then we'll get Halloweeny. And yeah, just want to come in and say hello, hi, and that I've missed you guys. And I can't wait until, you know, we get to hang out again. Okay, we'll probably have a robot nurse for a long time. No, ma'am. Edna, don't be saying stuff like that. It's not gonna happen. I promise. Yes, ma'am. I'll get you, Kimmy. I got you. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I love you guys. And I can't wait to cook up some things with y'all. Thank you. I love you. All right. Bye-bye. I enjoyed it too. Bye. Bye, Honey Mel's.